How many basic principles are there for anything? Here's a useful phrase to remember. Just a few. This means that anybody can learn them because there aren't that many. For example, there are only a few fundamentals to being healthy. If someone says, I'm going to teach you the 100 fundamentals to good health, you should think. That doesn't make sense. There aren't 100 fundamentals to having good health. There are just a few, maybe 6, 7, or 8. The same goes for learning how to play basketball. To get good at basketball, you need to learn the basics. But how many fundamental skills are there in basketball? Just a few. Maybe 5 or 6, and if you're exceptionally talented, maybe 7 or 8, but that's about it. Here's another interesting thing about fundamentals and basics. There are no new ones. The basic principles have been around for a long time. So if someone claims to have discovered new truths, be cautious. The truth is old and enduring, while more of it can be uncovered. It doesn't change fundamentally. If someone says they're manufacturing antiques, wouldn't you be a little suspicious? Skills and fundamentals are like antiques. They have existed for a very long time. We've known and practiced them for ages. Here's the thing. These fundamentals don't change over time. In any group, whether it's a business or any organization, there's a common pattern. About 20% of the people do 80% of the work, and the other 80% of the people do only 20% of the work. This rule applies in many areas of life and remains consistent no matter where you look. So, here's what I learned about time management. It's all about using your time wisely. You should spend 80% of your time with the 20% of people who are the most productive and important, not with the other 80% who don't contribute as much. This idea is called the 80-20 rule, and it's been known for a very long time. When we provide products, tapes, books, and videos for ongoing education, we don't bring enough for everyone. You might think we would bring enough for 100% of the people, but that's not the case. Instead, we bring enough for just the 20% who are truly engaged and interested. We focus on the 20% who will make the most use of these resources, not the 80% who won't use them as effectively. This approach helps ensure that our efforts and resources are used in the most impactful way. It's really interesting how people react differently to the same presentation. Imagine I give a seminar. One person walks out and says, wow, I'm going to change my life because of what I just learned. They are excited and motivated to make big changes. But then another person leaves the same seminar and says, I've heard all this stuff before. They don't feel inspired or moved at all. They think it's just the same old information they've heard many times. The point is, even though both people attended the exact same seminar, their reactions are completely different. This shows how people can interpret and respond to the same information in very different ways. But now let's talk about the basics of life and the basics of success. There are only a few, and they are very simple, just like learning the ABCs. These basics are the foundation, and I focus on them a lot. The first basic principle is called your personal philosophy. Philosophy is a big topic and can be divided into many types. One type is political philosophy. For example, here's what the communists believe. They think that capital or wealth should belong to the state, not to individual people. On the other hand, we have always believed that capital should belong to the people, not the state. This difference in belief creates a huge difference in how economies are run. It's amazing how such a fundamental idea can shape an entire economic system. The communists believed that people were too dumb, stupid, and greedy to handle money and resources properly. Because of this, they thought it was necessary to take control of all the capital and give it to the state. The idea was that the state, being all-wise and all-knowing, would manage everything better. People would just show up for their assigned jobs without worrying about managing resources themselves. This was the core philosophy of communism. Unfortunately, this way of thinking caused a lot of harm. Every country that adopted this philosophy ended up in a terrible state. The consequences of such a philosophy can be extremely significant, whether for good or bad. In the case of communism, the impact was devastating, proving how powerful and far-reaching the effects of a philosophy can be. Now let's talk about personal philosophy. There are many types of philosophy, such as religious philosophy, which deals with beliefs about God and spirituality. There is also spiritual philosophy, which focuses on the soul and inner life. Then there is economic philosophy, which is about how money and resources should be managed. Social philosophy examines how people interact in society, and political philosophy looks at how governments should operate. Philosophies answer big questions like, where did we come from? Where are we going? What is the meaning of life? There are many branches of philosophy, but the one I want to focus on is your personal philosophy. Your personal philosophy is the set of beliefs and ideas you hold about life. Write this down. Each person's personal philosophy is the most important factor in determining how their life turns out. The beliefs you hold about life shape your decisions and actions, which in turn affect every part of your life. Your economic life, which includes how you earn and manage money, is influenced by your personal philosophy. Your personal life, including your happiness and relationships, is also shaped by your beliefs. Your social life, how you interact with others, and your spiritual life, your inner peace and faith, all start with the conclusions you have made in your personal philosophy. Pay attention to the signals around you. Some of these signals come from what you see. Here's an important reminder for the 21st century. Pay attention. Notice if you're falling into the same trap that someone else has fallen into. There's no point in living a mediocre life just because someone else did. Look at your life and ask yourself, is this what I really want? If the answer is no, then you need to make some changes. Think about people who never read books, never made any changes in their lives. There were classes they could have taken, but they didn't. There were skills they could have learned, but they didn't. There were disciplines they could have tried, but they didn't. Instead, they blamed the government, taxes, society, and their circumstances for their problems. They don't understand that their choices are holding them back. So don't be like them. Recognize the opportunities around you and take action. Don't make excuses or blame others for your situation. Learn, grow, and make the changes needed to live the life you truly want. The main point is, pay close attention. Be careful not to make the same mistakes we learn by observing. Here's the next part. If we learn by observing, we can record it on video. This way you can watch it many times. Also, you learn by listening. We put it on CD so you can hear it repeatedly. Watching and listening to things over and over helps you understand and remember them better. So we provide these resources in different formats to help you learn effectively. Here's what the early Christians were taught. Don't miss the gatherings. When we call a gathering, do your best to be there. You never know which gathering will change your life forever. You can't predict which one will have a huge impact on you. To make sure you don't miss out, go to the gatherings consistently. Keep going, keep going. Take notes when you go to seminars, lectures, and other events. Some of them will change your life. The timing will be right, the words will be right, the ideas will be right, and the moment will be perfect. We don't know which gathering will be life-changing, so we attend as many as we can. By being exposed to different ideas and languages, we improve our vision and ambition. It helps us develop skills, become leaders, and be influential. So go consistently and see how it shapes your life and growth. Here's the next point. Be careful about what you listen to. Don't fill your mind with things that don't matter. While it's good to have some humor in your life because life can be very serious, it's important to focus on meaningful things. Life involves crucial choices between life and death, success and failure, flourishing or mediocrity. This makes it a serious matter. So make sure that what you listen to offers a variety. You need a balanced diet of things to listen to. It's good to listen to positive things, but it's also important to hear the negative side. We need to understand both perspectives to get a full picture. By being selective about what you listen to, you ensure that you are getting valuable information that helps you grow and understand the world better. Listen to a mix of positive and negative viewpoints to gain a complete understanding of the important issues in life. Here's a valuable lesson my teacher taught me when I was 25. Stand guard the door of your mind. You decide what to listen to, what not to listen to, and how much time to spend on each thing. But there's more. Read all the important books. There are millions of books out there, so you can't read them all. What I mean by read all the books is this. Read all the books you need to achieve your goals. Read to become successful, powerful, influential, healthy, prosperous, knowledgeable, intelligent, helpful, a good partner, a parent, and a grandparent. Read all the books necessary for your life to flourish and reach its full potential. Make sure your list of must-read books is comprehensive. Feeding your mind with knowledge is essential. Some people read so little that their minds become weak and underdeveloped. Don't let that happen to you. Read widely and deeply to keep your mind strong and healthy. You need to be ready. And this means being prepared in more than just physical and spiritual ways. You need to be mentally ready too. This is where my mentor Shoff helped me. Shoff was right when he said that being mentally ready is crucial. He suggested starting a library, and it truly changed my life. Think about it. Any home worth over $200,000 has a library. Why do you think that is? Doesn't that make you curious? Why do all these expensive homes have libraries? This should tell you something important. It shows that having a collection of books is valuable and that reading and learning are essential for success. So start your own library and see how it can transform your life. Remember, don't be a follower, be a student. This is the key to all learning. We often call it food for thought because it's important to nourish your mind, not just your body. You can't survive on just mental candy. Some people say, I only read positive stuff that's like staying in second grade forever. You need to move beyond that level. You can't just be inspired, you need to be taught. Inspiration is good, but education is essential. So I encourage you to explore and find what works for you. If something doesn't suit you, keep looking until you find something that does. Don't settle for just feeling good, aim to learn and grow. We all need to understand history. Here's a very short history lesson. Opportunities mixed with difficulties. This has been true throughout time. Whether you look back 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, or even 4,000 years. Once you realize that this pattern doesn't change, you understand that the only thing you can change is yourself. History helps us see how things have always been. The resources we have like seeds, soil, sunshine, and rain, and what people have done with them. It shows how many people, just like me at age 25, have made mistakes. That's the purpose of studying history, to learn from it. Be a good student of history. Here's an important point. Don't just read the easy stuff. You won't grow, change, or develop if you do. Take on the more challenging material. Skip the trashy content. Focus on what truly matters and helps you grow. Someone might say, sometimes you can find something valuable in a trashy novel. I wouldn't waste time looking for it. It's like finding a crust of bread in a garbage can. You could, but it's not worth it. First, you don't need the reputation of reading trashy material. Second, there isn't enough time to read all the brilliant and good stuff, so skip the trash. Here's my personal advice on personal development. Focus on becoming more valuable than you are. Read a book on Gandhi to see how high a human being can rise, and read a book on Hitler to see how low and despicable a human being can become. We need to understand both sides of the spectrum. Be a student. Don't be lazy in learning. Learn how to defend yourself and how to nourish your mind. Learn how to grow and how to handle your enemies. Your library should show that you are serious about personal relationships, family, gifts and skills, economics, and more. My mentor, Schaff, said to me, Mr. Rohn, don't just be a student, but also keep a separate journal for the good ideas you develop from books. Write everything down. Here's what he said. Don't trust your memory. If you are serious about becoming wealthy, powerful, healthy, influential, cultured, and unique, you should keep a journal. Don't rely on your memory alone. When you hear something valuable, write it down. When you come across something important, write it down. Make a habit of writing these things down. Keeping a journal helps you remember and reflect on valuable insights and information. It's a simple but powerful tool for personal growth and success. By writing down important ideas and lessons, you ensure that you can revisit and learn from them again and again. This practice will help you achieve your goals and become the best version of yourself. I have to say, if you ever had the chance to look at Mr. Rohn's journals, you would quickly see that he is a very dedicated student. He's not just focused on his work, but on life itself. He is dedicated to improving his skills and learning new things. If you observe what he can do with just seeds, soil, sunshine, and rain, you would be amazed. He turns these simple things into valuable resources that benefit his life in many ways. This includes his family, relationships, business, sales, management, and various talents. All of these things he achieves are what many people desire, and they are especially possible in America. So I'm encouraging you to keep a journal. Think about your library. It's a collection of books that you have gathered over time. These books have taught you, guided you, and helped you defend your beliefs. They've helped you develop your own way of thinking, become successful, powerful, healthy, and unique. Your library has helped you overcome illness, escape poverty, and leave behind difficult circumstances. These books have fed both your mind and soul, giving you the knowledge and wisdom you needed. One of the greatest gifts you can leave for others is your library. It can be a pathway for someone else, helping them move from darkness into light, just as it did for you. Leave your books behind. They will be more valuable than your couch. The ideas you collected, the notes you took at seminars like this, and everything valuable you gathered in your books are important. You can go back to them repeatedly. Repetition helps you master skills. Read your books again and again. Learn from them one more time. See if you can improve your understanding each time. Let your books coach you, teach you, and inspire you over and over. Words are powerful and inspiring, just like the lyrics of the song. Don't just read them once. That's why we record our lessons on cassette tapes, so you can listen to them repeatedly, going through the material again and again. One important thing to leave behind is your journal. This journal contains all the valuable things you took the time to gather. It shows that you are a serious student. Buying a book from a bookstore is easy, but being dedicated enough to your own life, future, and destiny to keep a journal is more challenging. Take the time to write notes and keep a journal. You will be very glad you did. It will be a valuable treasure to leave behind when you are gone. I can't imagine being without my own journals now. I encourage you to be just as sincere and committed to developing your own philosophy. Keeping a journal will help you achieve that. Set your sail and aim to make this year your best year ever. Then prepare for next year to be even better. When you commit to personal development, each year can become your best yet. Start small, maybe with a walk around the block. Begin refining your way of thinking and teaching yourself, because your mind holds all the answers. I can only share a few insights from my experience, but the real magic lies within your own mind. To unlock this potential, use books, cassettes, videos, personal conversations, sermons, song lyrics, and movie dialogues. Let words inspire you and move your heart. Find ways to capture and enhance your personal growth journey. I'm telling you, this stuff changed my life completely. It turned my life around in every possible way. I've never been the same since my teacher gave me this simple advice. It taught me how to move from where I was to where I wanted to be. How to change from what I was to what I wanted to become. It showed me how to go from pennies to treasure. How to go from nothing to fortune.